argument, but as far as the legal landscape is concerned, the top court will hear the matter tomorrow.
All right, Sambhav, thank you very much. And now, viewers, we're shifting our focus to the latest on the US-Iran war. Now, in an unfortunate news, we are learning that 3 Indian seafarers have been confirmed dead after they were reported missing from the MT Sete Bello off the coast of Oman. Remember, 21 Indian seafarers have been rescued from the same ship after it was struck by the US. Brian, we did know about 2 of them having been killed. A third was missing. Now this third Indian seafarer has also been killed. It's extremely grave news coming in for India. Do we have further confirmation on how Indian authorities have reacted to this? Okay, we'll try to reconnect with Brian. There are some connection glitches. Rumi is there with us instead. Rumi, yes.
Yes, Kriti, now very unfortunate coming in from the coast of Oman. We're now learning that all 3 Indian seafarers have now been confirmed dead after they were reported missing. Remember, the US Central Command confirmed that they had struck the MT Settleway off the coast of Oman yesterday after they attempted to move from the Strait of Hormuz. This was the second, a second oil tanker that was struck by the US, which had Indian seafarers on it. Remember, the victims of this tragic incident have been identified as Deck Cadet Aditya Sharma and engine fitter Shivanand Chaurasia, as well as Chief Engineer Patnala Suresh. These are the names of the 3 victims of the tragic incident. You have visuals on your screens of the oil tanker Sete Bello after it was struck by the US forces off the coast of Oman on 10th of June 2026. As per the Forward Seamen's Union of India, now all 3 people who were firstly told to be missing, reported to be missing, have been identified as Deck Cadet Aditya Sharma, engine fitted Shivanand Chaurasia, and Chief Engineer Patnala Suresh have now been confirmed dead. 21 other people who were all Indians were also in fact brought back. They were recovered from the ship. In fact, they were saved alive. The Indian authorities are constantly in contact with the Oman's authorities to ensure that all the 21 people who were Kriti, who have now been reported safe, are brought back to India safely as well. This, of course, comes after India summoned Jason Meeks, who's the charge d'affaires of the United States, to lodge a formal protest over the attack on the commercial vessel Sete Bello off the coast of Oman. The ship, remember, had 24 Indian crew members, out of whom 21 have now been rescued and 3 have been declared dead. The Ministry of External Affairs also reiterated its call for de-escalation and protection of commercial shipping in international waters. As a senior ME official, Nagaraj Naidu held a key meeting in New Delhi last night. This special meeting was called to ensure that India made its stance very clear in a case like this. And now that we know that all 3 people have been dead, yes, Kriti, another very tragic
Absolutely.
incident
Rumi,
has
thank you
unfolded.
very much for bringing us the updates on that. Former diplomat Ambassador KP Fabian is also joining us on this. Ambassador Fabian, just summoning the charge d'affaires of the United States to lodge a protest. Is that enough for India?
Well, good afternoon. Summoning the CDA was the right thing to have done. In fact, what is curious is that I had told the channel that day that we should summon the US Embassy, and that channel edited it out when they carried my interview. Well, obviously, some media in India do not feel confident enough to say what should be said. Now, I just want to make another point about this tragedy. And first of all, our condolences to the bereaved families, and also salutations to the Indian Navy and the Omani authorities who cooperated with the Indian Navy in saving those we could save. Now, there is two things. One is the protocol. Protocol is that you should advise a ship more than once. Warn it. You have to either remain or you have to change your course or whatever it is. Second is that even if you have to shoot, you don't shoot the ship, you shoot somewhere close by. And third is if you have to shoot the ship, you don't shoot the engine, you shoot somewhere. Now, we want to know, and America should tell us what exactly happened and why the protocol was not carried out. Because I'm sure that the captain would have, if clearly told, would have taken appropriate action. Now, let me make the second point. The second point is that we had the BRICS summit here. And I had then told the media that India, as a chair, should take the initiative to send a humanitarian mission to the stranded ships. Stranded for how long at that time? For about 90 days. Can you imagine? The ship can run short of medicines, food, and other things also. So, and that India should formally ask both the United States and Iran to make sure that their militaries do not attack the humanitarian mission, which should consist of doctors, medicines, food, and whatnot. Now, why is it that India, the voice of the global south, the chair of the BRICS, why is it that India didn't do that? Even now, it's not too late to do that.
Absolutely, Ambassador. As of now, tragic that 3 of Indian seafarers have been killed. What is the immediate course of action that will now ensue, especially given that there are still more ships in the strait? Ambassador, that's for you.
Yes, I didn't get your question. I'm listening.
Ambassador, given that there are still ships there of India or plying for India in the Strait of Hormuz and 3 of our seafarers have been dead, what is the immediate course of action that's required to be taken, at least from India?
Well, no, I think we have to look at the big picture. We cannot take action only for India. That may not be practical. We have to take action in respect of all the ships, and that is why I said, as BRICS chair, India should take the initiative. The meeting is over, that doesn't matter. We can still take the initiative.
All right, sure.
And if that is not feasible, we can take action as India. We can tell both Iran and America, we want to send a humanitarian mission. Make sure that the mission is not attacked.
Okay, all right. In fact, reportedly, we're picking that smoke columns are rising over Muwafaq Salty Air Base in eastern Jordan, with visuals circulating from the area showing the air base after it was struck. Those are the visuals on your screen. Smoke columns reported over the Jordan air base. We've also seen attacks in Kuwait. Iran is saying it's closed the Strait of Hormuz and targeted Kuwait, Bahrain, Jordan in retaliation to the strikes from the United States. Ambassador, the situation looks really bad as of now. What's your foresight of when is this going to, ease out a little bit?
Good question. Now, let's look at the facts as we know. We do not know as of now whether the Apache helicopter, incidentally it's an attack helicopter, don't forget that, was actually targeted and shot down by the IRGC. We do not know, because what we know from the public domain is that a drone hit it. Now, my view is that if they had done it, then they would have gone to town saying that they had downed an American helicopter. They didn't do that. And also, if they had done it, they would also have tried to capture the crew, which they didn't do. In fact, the crew was saved by some drone boat 2 hours after it happened. So my view is that it is not the case that Iran actually targeted the Apache helicopter. Now, President Trump should know these facts, but even then, look at the way he did it. He came out with the news, and he waited for the crew to have been saved before coming out with the news. Not even, the Pentagon, not even the White House press secretary. Trump himself came out with the news. So obviously he had some, what shall I say, arrière pensée, some thoughts behind it. Now, then Trump announced that he had, got 100 ships through the strait and millions of barrels. I personally doubt it. He also said that some official from Iran had spoken to him. I doubt it. In fact, Iran has denied it. So we have to take President Trump's words with not a pinch of salt, with a bag full of salt. You see? Now coming to what might happen. First, Trump said that it was in retaliation for the Apache. But now he says something else. Unless Iran agrees to the text, he will go on bombing. Now, this is really, really exponentially escalating. And it is the view of military experts in the United States that Iran can stand up to it for a while, maybe for a couple of weeks, maybe for a couple of months even.
All right.
In which case, with the attack on the GCC countries going on, not only the oil facilities will be attacked, and also the desalination plants. In fact, I think America has already attacked a desalination plant in Iran. We are looking at a very, very grim scenario unless good sense dawns upon President Donald Trump.
All right, we'll take one final update and wrap up the discussion. Ambassador, please stay on. We are now learning that another vessel has come under attack off the coast of Iran. Indian Embassy in Oman has stated, and I quote, that we have learnt of an incident involving a vessel of Shinas port of Oman earlier today. We are closely monitoring the situation and coordinating with the local authorities for further details. So the situation is clearly deteriorating, and we are all expecting for sense to prevail on Donald Trump and him to heed to some advisories that are being given. But for Iran and for Israel, what do you see, Ambassador? Israel is of course not actively involved in this direct conflict between Iran and the US at this point in time, at least. It's also held back from striking Lebanon right now.
Well, as far as Israel is concerned, it is very clear Prime Minister Netanyahu, who has been dreaming about attacking Iran for the last 40 years, he wants the war to continue till October. And that will enable him to postpone the corruption procedure, court proceedings against him. And can you imagine? He wants pardon from the President of Israel without admitting guilt. Tell me, in plain English, how do you pardon a person who says he is innocent? So we have that to take into account. And the basic question is, on the one hand, it is my view that Trump wants to put an end to it because the political costs are rising up. But the question is whether he will be able to sort of tell Netanyahu, this is it, as I'm concluding. In 1982, when Israel was bombing Beirut, the then President Reagan got onto the phone and told Menachem Begin, the Prime Minister, stop the Holocaust. Begin was, dismayed. He said, talking to me about Holocaust because, his family had died in the Holocaust. Reagan persisted. I say stop it and stop it now. Within 10 minutes, the Israeli cabinet met and stopped it. Let Donald Trump rise up to the occasion.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Ambassador, once again for joining us and giving us your expert opinion on this. Viewers, we'll wrap up this discussion and the bulletin. Thank you for watching Newsx.
यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र